So last week we covered a story about Warner Bros. Having almost it looked like Paramount was gonna put in a bid to buy Warner Bros. Once they separated from Discovery. Well, sounds like Netflix got a little whisper of this, and we're like, not so fast, not so fast. We're gonna
They
do the same thing,
yeah, they wanna put some skin in the game.
which is interesting because when I think of Netflix, I don't think of them buying an entire company. I or a
No, like,
studio like this.
no, when you think about it, you're like, Netflix is like, is it as big as these other companies? But you guys gotta remember, Netflix has been around for a
Ever.
while.
And
Like, it's
they've recently became profitable, I think within the last 5 years, and so
yeah.
Netflix, guys, it's massive. I mean, Netflix, obviously, everybody knows, it invented streaming, guys. It is why we have streaming today. It was the first streaming service really that popped off. I mean, I remember, Paul, I don't know if you remember, you had to get was it a disc with the Netflix? I couldn't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, you had to go to
So,
Redbox,
yeah,
and you had to get the
I
disc. I remember,
remember no, no,
yeah.
no.
I
Netflix sent it to you in the mail.
Oh, yeah, there was that too.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, so I even watched a video about this the other day. So Netflix, they started even in the 90s, which I thought like, whoa, I thought that was later than that. But no, in the 90s, they were mailing people DVDs in the mail. And I was like, that's crazy. I thought that was like late 2000s when that happened. But no, they were in the 90s. They were mailing DVDs to people. And then slowly but surely, they were like, hey, the internet's a thing. Hey, let's instead of mailing people their movies, let's just put it online for them to watch. And then they just kept adding and adding and adding to their library. And then eventually they said, we don't even need to send DVDs in the mail anymore. Boom, Netflix Online, that's it. That's our entire company. And it's worked. I mean, Netflix
Yeah,
is a very profitable company. Matter of fact, I was pulling up the net worth for both Netflix and Paramount so that we could talk about it.
yeah.
Whoa, whoa. Is this accurate? Whoa. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, let me tell you Paramount. So Paramount is the first company that we talked about upping the bid to buy Warner Brothers. And from what I can see right now, okay, I want to make sure I'm doing this correctly because I don't want to say anything incorrect.
Yeah.
But it looks like okay. Why do they keep changing the numbers? I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to make sure I don't want to say anything inaccurate because then we have to come back next week and say, "Hey, this is not real. This is not correct. We have to change what we said." So, according to what I see online, Paramount's net worth was approximately 7 to 7.4 billion as of September 2025. Okay?
And how much was it gonna be to buy, Warner Bros? How much was
I thought it was like 30 to 40 billion, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, what was the bid to
So now I'm concerned that that might not be accurate. Okay, a potential unconfirmed bid from Paramount 22 to 24. Oh wait, no. $45 billion to buy all of Warner Brothers Discovery. 45 billion.
Yeah, that's why they're waiting for it to separate.
Mhm. And then so I don't know if that is accurate in terms of how much Paramount is worth.
Yeah.
I wish I could find like the actual numbers. Google is not always accurate. But I keep seeing 7.4 billion. I'm looking at multiple different websites. Okay, this website is saying 30 billion. Okay.
Okay, so that's probably more accurate,
That's
but
more accurate.
and they probably have
But
investors and stuff like that. They're gonna go into debt if they buy Warner Brothers and all that. So
yes,
that's that. What is
but
Netflix
then
looking like?
yeah, that this is what I'm looking for. Netflix is currently 39 billion. But whenever I look at them and I look at Paramount in terms of not just their net worth, but how much uh their their operating income is working. So I look over here at Paramount, they're actually okay, here we go. So I've got Paramount at 29 billion
Okay.
currently, and their operating income has dropped 5 billion over the last year. Netflix is at 39 billion, but their income has increased by 10 billion over the last year.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be honest here. If I obviously I don't think Disney's gonna buy them, but
Disney just spent so much money buying Fox,
yeah,
so
besides Disney, Netflix is gonna get this. Netflix is probably gonna get this.
it looks like it.
Because but which is gonna be very interesting because they are a streaming service first, which is so interesting. They don't Netflix, I know they're Netflix makes movies, but and they have some that come out in theaters, but it's gonna be very interesting if they buy Warner Brothers, what happens? First of all, what is gonna happen with HBO Max? Last week, we were talking about HBO Max, and we are like, "Oh, Paramount probably will spend the money to keep it around because HBO Max is bigger than Paramount."
Mhm.
HBO Max is probably I don't think it's bigger than Netflix. I don't think it's bigger than Netflix.
No, absolutely not.
And it's
There's
not making but I don't know, maybe Netflix because they have spare cash is like, "We're gonna keep HBO," because HBO is such a big name, or do they mix and make HBO Flix or, HBO Netflix or Netflix HBO, like
NetBO.
yeah, like, I don't know what they do. HB no, there we go. HB no. But
HBO.
I don't know what they do. Like, I
But it's not
with
just
streaming service.
HBO that they would get if they bought Warner Brothers. All these companies that you see on the left side of the
Yeah.
screen,
Warner Brothers,
TBS,
TBS,
HBO,
HBO,
TNT, it's so
DC,
much that they
Looney
would get.
Tunes, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, and that's just some of them. Like,
Yeah.
I I really don't know, and then it also brings up the question again, what do we do with DC? That's the big question everyone's gonna have. What do
Yeah,
we
because
do with
that's
DC? Like,
that is one of the biggest money makers that Warner Brothers currently has, and
I think if it's because last week we were saying, I'm wondering if Warner Bros. Limits James Gunn a lot more and tells him, "Hey, you need to start pumping out more stuff. You need to start pumping out.
Mhm.
We need more stuff so we recuperate our money." Netflix, I think Netflix is like, "Hey, you guys go at your speed." I think Netflix is
Yeah.
like, "I think we need to up the movie count by 1 and maybe add a show by 1, but let's James, you do your thing." They may still say, "Hey, James, you need to start working in the office and not so much behind the camera." But I think Netflix probably is a lot more chill about it compared to Paramount because Paramount's gonna
Yeah.
really need to recuperate their money. Netflix doesn't care because Netflix is constantly getting they're printing money 24/7.
They are, they really are. Like, just looking at the numbers that I saw is like, it's it doesn't seem like a huge amount. Guys, whenever you compare $39 billion to Paramount's $29 billion, so like,
Yeah.
well, that's only $10 billion. Is like, do you realize
Realize how much
how much
billion it
money
is?
$10 billion is?
Like, it's
That's
a lot.
insanity.
Like, it is a lot of money, and I I don't know, dude. I think Netflix is gonna win this. I
I mean,
think
we'll
Netflix
see.
I mean, well, dude, I really think it'd be crazy if we hear that Disney gets a bid into this. Dude,
Well, let's see how
I don't
much
know if
Disney
Disney
has to spend.
well, I also though, I don't know if Disney's allowed to buy them because there's certain laws that make it to where you can't buy everything. So
Oh my god! Disney! What?
what?
Okay, so Paramount's 29 billion.
Mhm.
Netflix is 30 billion.
Is Disney in a trillion?
Dis Disney is 200 billion.
Yeah, Disney's a lot more. That's what I'm
Oh
saying,
my
dude. But how much
gosh.
debt is that though? Like, I'm willing to bet there's debt,
That's true. They probably do have a lot of debt because again, they did just buy Fox. I wonder how much they
well,
bought
and
Fox
everything else.
for.
Like, I wonder though, because then it poses the question, do we get DC versus Marvel stuff? Do we
See,
finally get
okay,
some
well,
DC versus Marvel stuff?
that would be cool. That I mean, if that did happen, that would be cool. But so Disney bought Fox in March of 2019 for $71 billion. So that's almost twice as much as what Warner Brothers
But
is
I'm willing to bet
worth.
Warner Brothers gets sold higher just because of the DC IPs. I'm willing to
That's
bet
true. That's
I
true.
think the bids probably end up going higher, and these are only bids, so that's not like
These are bids. It's not the final
yeah,
amount.
and bids will keep going up,
So
like
they will go up, but even still, like the I didn't even realize just the gap in the amount of money. Like, oh, you thought $10 billion was a lot of money.
let me show you.
How about 200 billion? Disney, Jesus. Where do you keep all this money?
That's what I'm so I don't know what they do. I don't know if Disney's even allowed to buy them, but it really does pose the question, do they maybe, do they get to
I
do
mean,
these DC
what
crossovers?
would stop them? I mean,
But
money
also
talks. Money
I
talks.
feel like Disney's priorities when they're gonna buy something next will not be this. I think Disney's next priority is gotta be Spider-Man if you're trying to buy rights
Um,
to something. Like, I
yeah, because Sony's holding on to that like a stingy little 6-year-old with a Barbie doll. Like, no, it's mine.
yeah, no, it's not happening. Like, so I mean it could, but I don't know what they'll do, and I think it'll be interesting to see, but I don't think Netflix is gonna be the last person we hear that puts in a bid for Warner Brothers. I don't think they're gonna be the
Probably
last one.
not. That
I think
yeah,
we are going to hear more and more as the weeks come, and also, they still have to split from Discovery because people don't
yeah.
want Discovery. I don't wanna be mean to Discovery, but pe
No, I'll be mean to Discovery. Ever since the Warner Brothers Discovery merger happened, every time I turn around, they were ruining something that I'm like sitting there. Come on, the Batgirl movie would have been awesome. The Wile E.
Well,
Coyote movie, like,
it
come
was
on.
rumored that it was gonna be bad. The Batgirl one, they pulled it because it was
I,
gonna but dude, okay, the
they
reason
but they
why
didn't give it a chance. They didn't give it a chance. They're like, no tax
but
break.
no, but okay, I understand that, but at the same time, I want you to look at this. How badly did Morbius affect the income for the rest of the movies that followed? It probably messed up Madam Web's, it messed up Craven's, it messed up Venom 3's, dude. That's how bad
I
and
I don't know because all those movies suck.
no, they did, and I'm not saying they didn't suck, but what I'm saying is, I have a feeling that if Morbius does not come out, Madam Web has a bigger opening.
I don't know. I mean,
Okay, I'll back it up even more. If Madam Web and Morbius don't come out, Craven 100% has a bigger
okay.
opening.
That I would agree to, because Craven was like, if we're talking on a scale of all of these crappy Sony movies, Madam Web,
Oh, that's the worst. It's the worst comic book movie in my
it was
opinion.
the worst comic book movie I've ever seen, and then I would put Morbius right above it because it had some okay moments. I liked some of the fight scenes, but there were a lot of scenes I'm like, sitting there was like, how did we get here? Like there's just like some editing mistakes or
Yeah,
not mistakes, just
yeah.
editing choices that don't make sense. Craven was a little bit more decent. I wouldn't say it was a good movie,
It made
but
up
it
for it
was
because it was kind of violent, and so you had those fun, violent moments.
yeah,
But like
yeah,
I'm saying, dude, like I think you release Batgirl, you hurt the IP, and that's the problem. It would have. I don't
okay,
think it would have
okay.
affected DC, but it still hurts the IP of DC. And I think people are like, well, then I
And
don't want to go see
well,
another DC movie. It sucks even more. Like they had
was
already been
that
doing
Batgirl movie scheduled to come out before Matt Reeves' Batman or after?
it was
Because
after.
depend.
It was
Okay,
after. It was after. Yeah, it was for
okay,
sure after. But it could have hurt Superman's opening. I
it
think
could have, it could
Superman
have.
eventually would have still gotten the same amount of money, but it could have hurt Superman's opening, and I think that's what they needed. They needed to stop the bleeding, and even though it probably was it could have been maybe like a mid movie, an average okay movie,
I mean, it
they
was
still
already
didn't
gonna be direct to digital for sure.
I think they were trying to wide release it. I think they were wide
I'm sure they were, but
but
I
and it
wouldn't be
sucks, dude.
surprised if
I
they're
get it.
like, "Hey, digital."
I get it because I was even like, "Oh, this is gonna be cool. We're gonna get, like, Firefly, like, these are all cool things,"
Firefly
but
played by Brendan Fraser, who
Frasier,
I
which
love Brendan
came off
Fraser,
right out it was supposed to come out the same year as The Whale, so,
which
like
was oh my god, I love that movie.
yeah, it's great. So, I
And
don't
then
know.
Michael Keaton's Batman was supposed to be in it
He
too,
was supposed to be the mentor, but yeah, like, I think it would've been okay, but I think they were like, "Let's just stop. We need to" and it sucks because people worked hard on that movie, and then their movie doesn't even get to see the light of day, but
yeah.
yeah, like, going back to this though, guys, I think it's interesting that Netflix is, and right now, I think Netflix is probably the most likely to buy it after looking at if we got all of our information right with the bid with the money and how much money people have. But ultimately, guys, I mean, it's just we will wait and see. We first have to have Warner Brothers split from Warner Brothers Discovery. But, anyways, guys, what do you guys think about this? Are you guys, interested in what's happening with this whole bid situation? Are you guys like, I haven't even heard about this? Are you guys like, no, there's no way Netflix is going to buy this? Let us know in the comments below. Want more? Check us out on YouTube Podcast, Spotify, or even the link down below for the full podcast.
Leave us a comment if you guys have any thoughts, questions, or ideas. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe for more videos and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.